Hey card fighters, what's going on? Josh here from Team GOC Guardians of Cray, bringing you here the juiciest of juicy deck profiles. Been very patient and waiting to do this one for you all. Obviously, we're doing the new G Shadow Paladins, the Ritual deck, the Luard, the best. This deck so far, I've been playtesting it a little bit, and it's been working out really well. I'm not running it with like a Diablo variant, secondary grade 3. I'm running it as Ritual as possible. Until set 10 comes out, we'll get more stuff. So far, it's been working out really well. The deck's pretty strong. Being able to tutor out your grade 1s from the deck is very important. Your grade 1s play a very vital role in the deck. Your grade 2s do as well. And of course, your grade 3 Luard is very strong. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. We'll start with our starter is Commanding Knight Nessa. Now, there are other starters you can use. You can use the Trial Deck one, Drag Prince Root. You can use the Revenger one that's new from this set. I like this one the best because I like being able to hit columns and making those perfect numbers, and this card lets me do it. Her skill is Activate, Generation Break 1, Ritual 3, rest this unit, and if you do that, I can choose up to 2 of my other units and give them 4k each until the end of turn. So pretty much, I can give a whole column it, so the front and back guy, I can give it to both each side. It doesn't really matter, I give it to all the back row dudes, it just doesn't really matter. Wherever you need those extra 4Ks to give you your numbers that you need, that's what she's there for. Then you can sack her with something, and then you can bring her back later, put her back into the deck, and call it out with Luard. So everything in this deck is tutorable. That's anything grade 1 or less. So it just makes it that easy to play it, so why not play this? So that's it for the starter. Then we'll get into our triggers. In my deck, I play a crit. So we're playing 4 of these guys because I do play Claret Sword in the deck as a backup grade 3. So there's just a Claret Sword crit trigger, put into the soul, 5k draw. 4 of the Trial Deck crits. I don't have like any of like the shiny ones from the Legend deck, so that's fine though. We don't really need them. So it's 8 crit there. 4 draw triggers. We definitely play Howl. Very important this deck. This deck can go through a lot of soul. So we do play the Howl to replenish it. And giving those 3Ks can actually make the difference of a guard range in this deck. Because what I've noticed with this deck, it's about having rear guards that hit for hard numbers. Your 33k lines, the 40k lines, 50k lines. It's possible. So this can help you fix those numbers and also help feed your soul. And of course, sorry about that, guys. And of course, 4 heals because heals and G guarding and all that good stuff. These are the ones from the Trial Deck. You can play any heals you like. So that's it for our trigger lineup. Pretty basic there. Next, going on to my favorite part of the deck, personally, are the grade 1s. So we're going to start with our 4 PGs. This is Drag Saver Ezra's. Dragsaver Ezra's is probably one of the best clan functioning PG that there is. It is the Ritual PG for the deck. Her skill is normal PG skill, so it can only guard a Vanguard, but it's got the drop zone activated ability, Generation Break 1, Ritual 3. Choose up to one of your rear guards, retire it, and choose another Dragsaver Ursus from your drop zone, put it to the bottom of your deck. If you pay the cost, you can return this card to hand. So you have to have 2 of these in your drop zone to activate its skill, which is pretty easy because it's a perfect guard. You can tutor it out with Luard if you want to sack it with a skill. You could just guard with them if you have them in your hand, and then activate the skill, kill one of your dudes, put 1 to the bottom of your deck, and then add 1 to your hand. So you're filtering 1 back in, so you can potentially draw into it because you do shuffle the deck a lot. And you're adding 1 to your hand to guarantee you to have a PG. So definitely recommend playing this. If you feel like the deck's a little too counterblast heavy, which it really shouldn't, you can play Karma Collector, but I think this one for this deck specifically is the better choice. Like I think if you're playing like Diablo variant, you would play probably Karma Collector. You have that problem. We play 3 Abyssal Owl. I only need the 3 Abyssal Owl. I don't really see myself needing 4. You're definitely more than welcome to play 4 if you want to make sure that you can get as many times you can search for Luard, because this skill is when this unit is placed on rear guard from your hand, look at 7 cards from top of your deck, search for up to 1 card with Luard and its card name from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your hand, choose 1 or more cards with the sum of their grades being 3 or greater from your hand and discard them. So pretty much what that's going to do is obviously let you search out your Luard. And then you can discard a grade 2, a grade 1. You can discard 3 grade 1s if you really want to desperate to get your ritual started. It also helps because now you don't have to reveal a grade 3 from your hand just to get the search effect like other stride fodder do. Obviously this isn't a stride fodder, but it's nice to have. Its other skill is Ritual 3. Oh yeah, and just to go over, his first skill is not ritual locked, it's not generation locked. You could do it turn 1, you call it an activated skill. But its other skill is Ritual 3, which Ritual 3 you should know by now. If you have 3 or more grade 1s, your drop zone skill is active. When this unit is retired from your rear guard, for the effect or cost of your card with Luard and its card name, you can countercharge 1. So it's just really good for your countercharging, which is why you don't have to play Karma Collectors in the deck per se. It just lets you get that nice countercharge. You can stack it with your Luard Stride Break skill, and it's basically pretty much free. It's really nice to have, and the reason why I only need 3 in the deck is because it is tutorable with both of the Luard skills, and we'll get there. So we play 3 Abyssal Owl. Next, we play 2... some salty players over here today. We play 2 Blackwing Swordbreaker. Obviously, you've seen this card. You've seen it, prices go up, down. We're guys getting revived in the Revival Collection. We do play 2 in the deck because it actually is a very good asset for adding cards to your hand. Its skill is when this unit is placed on rear guard from your deck, Soul Blast 1, draw a card. It's pretty simple. You can do this your first stride turn. You can double call and draw 2. I mean, you're gaining resources both from to your field and to your hand. It's just a very good card to play at 2. Tutorable with Luard. We play 2 Drag Wizard Knees. I don't see a need of playing more than this. It's a decent card. It's from the trial deck. It's a 7k grade 1. Skill is Ritual 3. When this unit is placed on rear guard from your deck, this unit gains 2k until the end of turn. So it's a 9k attacker until the end of turn. It's not bad. It lets you hit some guard ranges. You have like another grade 1 in the same column. It's hitting 16k if it's a 7k. Like I said, it's okay. Definitely don't really need to play it more than 2. And then its other skill is Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1, and choose one of your other rear guards in the same column as this unit and retire it. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, you can draw a card. The nice skill about that is that if it's boosting a grade 1, maybe it's boosting this guy over here, a Swordbreaker, and you don't really want the Swordbreaker on the board anymore, you can kill it, draw a card, and you're feeding towards your ritual if you're already not there. Also can kill anything else in like the Link Joker matchup, and you don't want them locking your front row. This can kill the thing in the front row, so you have that space open, which is nice. And again, since it's tutorable with Luard, 2 is really all you need. And like I said, so far with this deck lineup, it's worked out pretty well. Next, I play 2 Night Sky Eagle. I really like this card a lot. It's a 7k grade 1, and its skill is simply Generation Break 1. When this unit is placed on rear guard, this unit gains 4k until the end of turn. So it doesn't matter whether it's called from the deck or from your hand, it's 4k. So it's an 11k booster, it's an 11k attacker. It helps you break those numbers, those guard ranges. And at 2 buff is fine because you're going to shuffle them back into your deck after you call them, and you're going to call them back out with Luard. So more things to hit higher number columns. So I play 2 of that. And the Swift Tech of the deck, I play as 1 Nightmare Painter, and the 1 Nightmare Painter actually does help a lot in this deck because it uses so much soul until we get other things that let us soul charge. So basically its skill is when this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard. If you have a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, choose up to one Shadow Paladin from your hand and put it into your soul. Simple as that. It can activate when it's called from hand. It can activate when it's called from the deck. It doesn't matter. So if you need soul that turn, and it's very important to realize that if you go Luard and you have no soul and you want to go into Drag Driver, you can activate Luard's on stride skill, call this thing out, choose a card from your hand, put it into the soul, and then Soul Blast for Luard's skill. Timings are a thing. So this card actually can come in clutch. Very nice. Why we play it at 1 of. You could play it at 2. If you don't want to play this at all, you could put this in for any one of these other cards. You can play 4 Owl. You can play a 3rd Swordbreaker. I don't recommend that. You could play a 3rd Eagle or a 3rd Niece. It's your choice. Pretty much, it's up to you. And the grade 1s you can play around with a lot, which is really nice, which is why I like this deck so much, is because you can play it so very techie-like. So that's it for our grade 1s. Going into our grade 2s, you will notice there will be a couple proxies in the deck because I don't have everything yet. But for Drag Wizard Morfessa with the sweet SP, Drag Wizard Morfessa is an amazing card in this deck. I would not play this at anything less than 4 because of it's got Generation Break 1, Ritual 3. When this unit attacks a Vanguard until the end of turn, this unit gets 5k. So it's a 14k attacker on its own, which means if it's boosted by 7k, it's hitting 21k columns all the time. It's so good. It's just 21k, 21k, 21k. And that SP art, look at that, that's hot. Sorry guys. So then it has its auto ability also is Counterblast 1. When this unit attack hits, you may pay the cost. If you do, you search your deck for up to 1 grade 1 card from your deck, call it to Rearguard, shuffle your deck. So you get to call it grade 1 if it hits. In this deck, I don't use that skill this much unless I need a booster or something later on, or to call out like another Swordbreaker if I'm running low on cards or whatever. That skill can be useful sometimes, not so much, but its other skill is Generation Break 1 in the Drop Zone Continuous. This card gets grade -1, which means it counts as a grade 1 when it's in your drop zone, so it actually activates for your ritual ability. So if you have this on your field and you intercept with it, like your turn, and then when it goes to the drop zone, it's a grade 1, so the next turn, boom, your ritual is ready. Spaghetti. It is so good. This is why we play it at 4. You shouldn't play it at anything less. So 4, Morfessa. After the 4 Morfessa, we play 3 Knight of Brawn Grosne, or Grosnies, like we like to call him here. This card's actually very good in this deck. Its skill is Generation Break 1. When your other unit with grade less than this unit is placed on Rearguard, this unit gets 3k. So that means if any grade 1 or grade 0 cards are called to your board, whether it's a superior call from the deck or from your hand, he gains 3k. So that shit stacks. So let's say you're going into your Luard straw and you're calling out 3 things. Boom. That is plus 9k on top of this already. You call another card from your hand. Boom. 12k. It's a 21k attacker on its own. This guy can get very big, very beefy. It's a very good card to play. I suggest definitely playing it at 3. It works really well at 3. You can try it at 2, but I don't feel like I see it enough at 2. So that's why I play him at 3. So 3 Knight of Brawn. The other grade 2s can be pretty much switched out for anything else that you see. I play 2 Drag Wizard Leofail in the deck. It's okay. I'm not a huge fan of this card. Its skill is activate once per turn, Generation Break 1, Soul Blast 1, and choose one of your other rearguards in the same column as this unit and retire it, and then you get to draw a card. The reason why I don't like this card is because Niece does it better with using Counterblast that you don't really care about in the deck. Soul matters in this deck, and you go through a lot of it. So when you're using this card to kill things and use your soul, it kind of hurts. Another thing is that I don't like the fact that it's in the main phase. I would prefer it to be at the end of the battle, like Niece's. So you're not losing the booster or having to call extra cards for no reason. So the other reason why I do play is because Ritual 3, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gains 2k. So it's an 11k attacker. So it's decent. It helps you with columns. It can attack a Vanguard on its own without any other help. But like I said, if there's something else that you like to play, that you want to play in its place, by all means, do it. I just keep it in here purely for 11k. So 2 of that. And then I play 2 of my... This card has been MVP, actually, a little bit, is original Skull Witch New Main. The main is a pretty good card in this deck. Its skill is Counterblast 1, choose a Shadow Paladin from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw 2. So, not only are you recycling your hand out, you can drop a grade 1 to help feed your ritual early since it's not Generation Break locked. And then you get to draw 2 cards, so then you're adding more cards to your hand. Now, yes, it is a 3k power, but that doesn't really matter when you're using it early game. And if you want to use it late game, she's a good target for your Perfect Guard. So you can activate this, Counterblast 1, drop a card, draw 2, activate your Perfect Guard skill, sack this, go to the bottom of the deck and add 1 to your hand. So there's a lot of combos in this deck, and this deck is just very techy and it's very fun. So Numain can come in clutch very good, very early. If you don't have Luard in your hand, activating her early enough can help you dig towards it. So that's it for our grade 2s.
I actually just ordered them and got them today.
So yeah, so like I said, you can go with it any way you want. So far, this lineup has worked really well for me.
Oh, that's bad.
Now we're going to our grade 3s. We play 2 Death Spray Dragon. I play this over the new one from the set 9 because, one, it's an 11k, which is cool. I'd rather, if I had to ride a grade 3 in my deck and I had to ride this, I'd rather it be at least 11k, not a 10k. Its skill is Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1, choose one of your other Vanguards and retire it. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's Rearguards and retire it. It's not a bad secondary Rearguard grade 3 ability right now until we get something better. He's just kind of filling the spot up for anything else at this point. And if you're using Phantom Blaster, Diablo, he can still, if your opponent has only 2 Rearguards, this guy can still come in clutch and, make it so your opponent can't guard. So I play 2 of this. We play 2 Supremacy Dragon, Claret Sword Dragon. Do I like this card? It's not big because at least it has a stride skill. So its Generation Break 2 does not matter whatsoever because I'm never going to use it. Its auto ability is Vanguard, Counterblast 1. During your turn when your unit is stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 1 or less card, call it to rearguard from your deck, and that unit gets plus 2k. So, I mean, like I said, it's okay. It's still letting you tech out your grade 1s from your deck. You're only calling out one thing, and you're not getting free stride like Luard gives it to you, but it's okay as a backup. You still don't want to ride into any of these grade 3s. So until we get whatever we're getting from set 10, new grade 3-wise, hopefully, we'll have to wait and see from there. But what does matter, of course, is our main guy, Dragheart Luard, especially with that hot stamp. Check that out. That's nice. Awaken the Hidden Power, because this guy's powerful. We play 4 of this guy. He's our main grade 3. He's our main boss of the deck. He makes the deck work. He stops you from decking out. He lets you do your techie calls. Just too good not to play. So his skill is Vanguard Ritual 3. You could choose 2 normal units from your drop zone, put them to the bottom of your deck in any order. And then you activate this at the beginning of your ride step. You activate the cost. If you do, you do not have to pay the cost for striding the next time you would stride. So literally, that just means that I take 2 cards from my drop zone, put them to the bottom of my deck, as long as they're not triggers, and I get to stride for nothing, because best card is best. And that's going to let you feed into his second skill, which is Counterblast 1. Choose one of your rear guards and retire it. During your turn when your unit stride, you can pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 grade 1 or less cards, and superior call them from the deck. So those 2 cards you're putting to the bottom of your deck can be 2 grade 1s that you've already used, sacked, paid costs for, whatever, and you want them back. Guess what? You're getting them back with this guy. He feeds his own skill. The card is so good. It's so strong that it's just such an amazing card in this deck, which is why you definitely want to play him at 4. He's what makes the deck work. He's the reason why you can play 1 or 2 of grade 1s, because he's just going to let you tech him out. And it's the reason why you don't have to play stride fodder in the deck and only have to play 8 grade 3s, because you only have to worry about striding once. Because even his skill has to be done at the beginning of the ride step, so the turn you ride him, even if you're at ritual and you ride him that turn, you cannot activate that skill because it's at the beginning of the ride step, and when you ride it, you miss that timing. So it has to be the next time. So that's our 8 grade 3s. Next, we're going on to our G zone. So for the G zone, again, it could be anything you want to do it this way. I play 3 Plot Maker, Dark Dragon Plot Maker Dragon. Simple enough. The reason why I play it is because it's stupid easy to get off. Its skill is call this card to your Guardian Circle face down. So basically, Ritual 3 continuous. This card gets 10k shield. 25k shield just for being at Ritual 3. Simple as that. Literally, it's like 4 words of text. You can't beat it. So, until we get a better G-Guard, maybe hopefully in set 10 we'll get something with like a skill. Maybe something that lets you put more cards back to your deck. But I'm hoping. Keep your fingers crossed. This is still good for now. So your 25k shields are always good. And I play 1 Dismal because Dismal's good. I want to protect my old man Grosny. I want to protect my Morfessa. Whatever I want to protect from either Link Joker or being blown up or even just being attacked. So we play the 1 of. So that's it for G-Guards. I want to play 4 in this deck because you don't really need more than that. 1 Sea Breeze because yes, it is a G-based deck. We need our Sea Breeze. We want our shit to go off. I want my 21k lines hitting early if my opponent doesn't want to, you know, ride and be a scrub. So 1 of that. 2 of Dark Dragon Carnivore Dragon because Dark Dragon Carnivore Dragon is one of my favorite cards. It's one of the best trial deck strides we've gotten in a long time. I mean, obviously, you know, Phoenix Dude is still a good card, but whatever. His skill is pretty easy, simple. Once per turn, activated, you can choose one of your rear guards and retire it. Your opponent then chooses 2 of his rear guards and retires them. And if he or she could not retire 2, you choose up to 3 of your units in your front row, and they get 4k power until the end of turn. So what that really means is the fact that if your opponent only has 1 or no rear guards, they still have to sack the 1 that they have, and then your front row gets the 4k buffer, no matter what. So you're buffering your line, and if they have to sack 2, they have to sack 2. I prefer them having to kill 2 things because I don't want them to have things. So we played 2 of this because why not? You only need 1, and I'll show you what you can like replace it with. So 2 of that. These are proxied because I'm waiting for the reprint, and I'm not paying $30 for these right now. Supremacy Black Dragon or Geyser Dragon. We all know him. He's just there to get you draw cards. Either this guy or this guy's going to be my first stride. If I had, like, no cards, if I had to guard early because my opponent was rushing me, or Geyser's going to help me get those cards back. If my opponent does rush me, but I have a decent amount of cards in hand and I want to kill their shit, Carnivore Dragon's going to help me with that. So, I'd like Carnivore Dragons like a better or Geyser Doomed because it's a guaranteed kill too. It won't give you the extra cards, but that's why we play or Geyser Dragon. So, his skill is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and choose 2 of your, choose a copy of himself, turn it face up. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you get pay that cost, so it's Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, sack 2, flip up a copy of him, and you get to reveal 2 cards on top of your deck. For every grade 1 or less that's been revealed, he gains 5k power, and those cards revealed go to your hand. So you're netting yourself 5 cards from that, so it's pretty good, letting you, you know, rebuild that hand. So we play 2 of that.
What do you say?
I play 1 Dark Dragon Spectral Blaster Diablo. This is the card that I was saying that you can maybe get away with playing 2 of this and take out 1 Carnivore Dragon and play a second Spectral Blaster Diablo. I only have the 1, and the 1 so far has worked out really well. It's really good in this deck because, you know, you need Vanguard pressure. You already have Rearguard pressure, now you have Vanguard pressure. So its skill is activate once per turn, Soul Blast 1, choose a face down card from your G zone, turn it face up, and choose 1 of your rear guards and retire it. Until the end of the turn, when you pay that skill, this unit gets Generation Break 3, Counterblast 2, and choose 2 of your rear guards and retire them. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard. You can pay the cost. If you do, you stand this unit, and this unit gets -2 drive until the end of turn. And then it has a skill if you have a Diablo Heart, which you really don't worry about because you don't play Diablos in the deck. So you're using it because it's a restander, and I like it for that extra attack pressure. Your opponent will probably try to guard this, and yada yada yada, and it's just it's a good time. It's a really good time. So restanders are good until we get something better. Like I said, I play this as a 1-of, and like I said, you can play it at 2. 2 Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo. This card's still putting in the work. I only need to play it at 2 of because it's all you really need. So its skill is activate. Once per turn, choose a face down card named Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo from your G zone, turn it face up. If the number of face up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, until the end of the turn, this unit gets plus 10k plus 1 critical. And auto choose 3 of your rear guards and retire them. When this unit attacks a vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent may choose up to 2 of his or her rear guards and retire them. If he or she does not, your opponent cannot call cards from the guard to the guardian circle from their hands. So pretty much just says if you don't sack 2, you can't guard from your hand. Now you can still G guard, that's fine. But you know, there are ways to make this number go up high enough that their G guard doesn't. I had this at 51k before. It's pretty good. It's still a very strong card. It could be a pretty good finisher. Puts that pressure on, makes your opponent kill things so they can guard. So, and you're gonna have like really big rear guards in this deck. So this is pretty nice to have. And then we're gonna round that up, finish it off with 4 Drag Driver Luard. This card is amazing in this deck. I love him. He's strong. There are two of them are proxy, 2 of them are real, because I still need 2 more. I'm getting 1 more from a friend, and then I'm only short 1. Yay! So this card is super strong. Its skill is Ritual 3, Soul Blast 1, and choose a face down card from your G zone and turn it face up. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to the number of grade 1 cards from your deck equal to the number of face up Drag Driver Luards. Call them, shuffle your deck, and then for every grade 1 in your drop zone, they get plus 1,000 power. So as a late game card, it's really strong because you can potentially call 3 and they can get like up to 10,000 power, or more or less. Early game, it's good, or against like a control matchup. Let's say you're playing against something and they're gonna blow up your field, and now you don't have a way to call out to be able to activate Luard's on stride ability, the grade 3. You have grade 4 Luard now that can call something out with its Soul Blast and flip something up, and then you can activate the on stride ability of Luard because it's all timing. So you get to choose which one goes off first, so they both activate at the same time. So it's really strong. It lets you fix things against those matchups. It lets you get a really, really heavy hitting board. And you can, now I know it's like for every face-up card, you get to call things. So if you're really worried about that, Spectral Blaster can flip up one of these early if you use him first. Then activate this guy, flip up another copy. You can call 2 things. You can activate him again after that, call 3. That is the most. Card's good. It makes those numbers big. It lets you fix things. I mean, what more can you really say about it? It's really strong. And that's it for the Shadow Paladin deck. Our Ritual deck is pretty strong even right now. Yes, it's not best deck. We're hoping it's going to become meta once set 10 drops. We're all hoping about it anyway. Right now, I say it's pretty strong. It can hold its own against a lot of other decks, but against some decks that just rush early, it can still lose out because of Generation Break, but it's always going to have that problem. But I suggest this deck to some people. It's a little expensive right now, but prices are starting to drop, so it is becoming a little bit more affordable. But stay tuned. When set 10 drops, we will throw out another deck profile out there and see what revisions we had with the deck. But again, this is Josh from Team Guardians of Cray here. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, maybe some build variant that you're going with the deck. Please let us know. We like your input. And until next time, remember to stand up, Vanguard.
Fight me.